Today's show is the fourth and last in a series on Medicaid planning. We previously discussed gifting assets to protect them from spending on the nursing home and then protecting those gifted assets for your future needs. Additionally, we discussed protecting your home from the long reach of Medicaid. If done right, you can still protect assets and qualify for Medicaid to pay the high cost of the nursing home. Even if you're already in the nursing home, it is not necessarily too late to plan to protect some assets. If you missed any of our previous segments on Medicaid, go to our YouTube channel for Golden Opportunities. But in this final installment, we will discuss that it's not too late to plan with my never late law partner, Mike Solomon.
Right.
So in earlier segments, we talked about careful planning to gift assets and to protect them and to protect your home. There's special rules. I mean, it sounds really complicated. Is there really a way to protect assets even at the last minute when you go into the nursing home?
There is. Matter of fact, it's always a problem. I'll see the children come in after mom and say, Mom and Dad had to use up all their money. Well, there's still ways, even after mom or dad are in the nursing home, to protect some of those assets. We call it crisis Medicaid planning.
Okay, well, that sounds promising.
Yes.
Where do we start?
Well, let's go back and look at the basic rules we talked about the other week, and that is if you give away your assets and you get past 5 years, you can save all your assets. But if you have to go in a long-term care facility within 5 years, you're going to have what's called an eligibility period. Let me give you an example. Let's say you gave away $50,000. Medicaid, Ohio Job and Family Services, feels it costs $6,327 a month to pay for long-term care. They say, well, if you gave away $50,000, that would have covered 8 months. And therefore, you're not eligible for Medicaid for 8 months.
Okay, it sounds like the penalty period we can't avoid. So how do we protect assets?
Well, you know, as I said, if you can get past the 5 years, you do avoid the penalty period. But if you can't, then what you need to do is possibly give away some of your assets, not all of them. And with the right planning, the crisis planning, we can save maybe between a third and 1/2 of your assets with the right sort of planning.
Sounds good. So what do you have to do?
Well, it's a little bit complicated. So, for example, you give away, let's say, half of your assets, and that causes that ineligibility period. And during that time, you use the rest of the assets you didn't give away, and you pay for your long-term care. But you can't even keep those assets. What we have to do is loan them to your children, and your children pay back the loan, and you use those loan repayments and maybe your Social Security, and you pay for Medicaid, and then eventually the ineligibility period expires, and then you apply for Medicaid. And that's really complicated, obviously. You need
do you have a dollar example?
Yeah, let me give you an example. Let's say you had $100,000. You give away 50. Remember I said that's an 8-month ineligibility period. So you have 8 months of ineligibility. You take that other money that you didn't give away, you loan it to your children. They pay it back to you over that 8-month period. Use those repayments plus maybe your retirement, Social Security. You pay for long-term care. You get past 8 months, 9 months, you apply for Medicaid. But you can see it's really complicated to do it correctly.
It is complicated. Is there anything else you can do to protect assets?
Well, there are other things. For example, if you're home, you can give it away to a caregiver who's taking care of you, or a disabled child or sibling. Or if you have a disabled child, you can give away money to them where you don't have to worry about any of those ineligibility periods. Again, it gets very complicated, but those are some of the exceptions to the rules.
Okay, just got a plan.
Yes.
Generally, it's never too late to do some planning to protect assets and get Medicaid to help pay for nursing home care. But you have to seek help and you have to plan. For more information, give Mike a call at the number coming up next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, aging is inevitable, so be prepared with a plan. Need help hearing in the wide indoor spaces? We'll put you in the loop for an ingenious answer. And we'll educate you about new guardianship classes. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.